We are live. Hello, internet. Hello, beautiful internet.
Give it a couple seconds. It usually takes there. I'm starting to see the green on YouTube now.
Need to find the volume button for my television, because I can't have that.
When are we starting the Audacity recording?
You can start it. Hold on.
Just give me 1 sec.
Don't rip.
I had to go over to my TV and turn off the volume so it's not picking up.
No worries, man. Just let me know when you guys are ready.
Yeah.
You can start your recordings in 3, 2, 1, now.
Rolling.
We are rolling.
Autobots, record.
Somehow I think that'd be quite disappointing for the Transformers. Oh man,
It's like that Starbound song where they're trying to transform into other innocuous things to stay away from trouble.
Transform into vibrator. Rip. All right, so we should be good. It looks like we are up on YouTube now, and indeed we are.
Hi, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitch, and other.
Nobody's watching my Twitch. Don't fool yourself. I appreciate it, but hush.
You good, fam? It's fine. Although, nobody might be watching this on YouTube if, restricted mode is on for them, because that also affects streams and what you see from that, too.
Oh.
All my streams are gone on restricted mode, too.
Oh, God. I didn't even think of streams.
Yeah. You can turn on restricted mode in YouTube gaming. Well, if you turn on the main website, or if it's turned on for you on the main website, it's on for all of YouTube's like subsidiaries. So YouTube Red, YouTube Kids, YouTube Gaming, it's on for all of those. And it'll restrict what you see. Like if you're on like restricted mode, you would not be able to see any of my live streams. It's just it's a burger system for YouTube to kind of put into place, and then for them to put it into place and then not really tell anybody about what they're doing with it. L. It's a massive L. But it's been. We talked a little bit about it a bit ago, but yeah, you're right. It's been something that a lot of content creators have been talking about. Shoot, John, you and I were just joking about how Thunder made a video talking about how all the YouTuber kids, their bank is gone. Their money, they're not going to be able to make their easy money.
My fight money!
My fight money! YouTube's taking all their fight money with this whole restricted thing and advertisers leaving the platform and whatnot. And, it's a weird issue, man. I really don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, like, it's one thing for, like, casual people who make YouTube videos for fun, and then they make a little money on the side. That's fun. There are some people who have, like, quit their jobs. This is their full-time job. This is their main source of income, and just 50% of it is axed, if they're lucky. If not all
if they're lucky, just 50% of it. Because, like I said, on my channel, if you're on restricted, you go to my channel. I've got 1,100 videos total uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
If you have restricted mode on, it cuts it down to 120.
Yep.
You can only see 120 of my videos, so a tenth of my content, and it's all just old Nintendo stuff. So
Also,
Super Smash Brothers and Mario.
I'm hearing there's a glitch that if you turn on restricted mode, it becomes nearly impossible to turn it off. There are some people that have had to make new accounts just because they don't want restricted mode on. So they lost all their subs.
Hey, you pressed yes for restricted mode. You don't want to see anything that could be considered objectionable. Well, it's not even that, though. It's not even stuff that's objectionable. All of my Destiny videos, every last one of them, gets removed under restricted mode. I wouldn't say my content is objective. I guess it's that animated violence.
You're shooting stuff. Stop it.
It's all those Cabal jokes we made, John, about how the hives smell funny and the Cabals.
My Cabals.
But there's no rhyme or reason to it, man.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Super Mario totally jumped on that Goomba and killed it. Restricted.
Damn.
Yeah, man. And also Goombas, they're mushrooms. Mushrooms are phallic.
They are also used as drugs.
They are also used as drugs. So Super Mario, every Nintendo video needs to be demonetized and removed under restricted. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna test that right now. Hold on, I'm gonna go to Nintendo's channel and see if any of their videos are taken off
I don't.
under restricted mode.
I don't think you're being strict enough. I think we need to start burning switches.
Yeah, I once saw a breast, a covered breast in Nintendo's new Breath of the Wild. Obviously, Switch needs to be censored for the children, man. Okay, so Nintendo has 2,191 total videos on their, or at least public on their YouTube channel. Let me head into an incognito window and see if I can bring up YouTube's channel.
I wonder if because they're part of the Nintendo partnership program, but
maybe
by default they're exempt.
That might be the case. Oh wow, under incognito mode, like YouTube just shows up weird. Oh right, because I'm already on restricted mode, and like now there's no option to turn it off.
Yep.
Yeah, the option there at the bottom is just not there anymore. So like I don't have an option to turn off restricted mode. So hold on, let me see this.
Yeah, I'm scared to actually do it on any of my good channels. Like I've got a couple channels, and I'm afraid to do them on any of them.
Let's see what if there's a difference between what Nintendo has and what everybody else has.
By the way, YouTube, I wouldn't need multiple channels if you would let me do things like categorize my subscriptions. Thanks. That's just a free idea. Like folders for your subscriptions, that's free. That's for me. Do it.
Nah, man, you're asking way too much of the world's most popular video website. All right, so it looks like you might be right. Nintendo doesn't look like it has anything different about it, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because like you said, a lot of Nintendo videos didn't go down. I think that's because like they have their own partnership program, and so they decide what the ads are.
But if you were to look at it on like just a normal person's channel, like let's see, let me go to Total Biscuit and see what his channel looks like.
You should go to this guy. He's total scrub. His name's HuntArtists. You should go there.
Yeah, this HuntArtist weirdo, dude. If you're on restricted mode, when you search Total Biscuit, his channel doesn't even come up. Like some videos from his, like try it out. Some videos from his like pop up, but like you know how when you search for a channel on YouTube, usually the channel itself will be at the top of the search results. It's just not there. Like it's not there, and you have to scroll down until you find one of his actual videos for it to come up. Hold on, I'm on it right now. Wow. Okay, so of the however thousands of videos he's got on there, all of his latest ones are gone. Like the first video I'm seeing is from like 2 months ago, and it's just the Co-optional podcast.
That is upsetting.
Yeah, this is nuts. Like I don't understand why this sort of mode, and the fact that restricted mode is turned on by default for new accounts.
That's garbage.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Like I totally understand having a restricted mode. Other websites do it. Like I was saying before, like DeviantArt. Thank God for that. Being able, because when you post something to DeviantArt, whether it's something as innocuous as like a picture of Sonic's feet, or if it's super hardcore naked people covered in paint, like you can choose whether or not it's like it's age appropriate, and if you decide that and it's wrong, people can post it and then DA can decide that. But there's a very hard yes or no. It's not like, oh, your picture has the title of, or that says the word gun or die or what have you, right? Like there's not a million variables, which is what it seems like YouTube is doing.
And that's part of the problem, because they haven't explained to creators what exactly causes your content to be triggered or to be censored under restricted mode. They haven't said anything to us. And from what we've seen, it looks like it's an automated thing, so it's probably going to be like their Content ID, where it's a bot that basically goes through all of your video information, like your titles, your descriptions, your tags, and even scans your thumbnails, because that's possible as well for them to do it. If you've got a video with big boobies in your thumbnail, you're probably going to get hit with the restriction mode. But even stuff as innocuous as like just having the title of a game, like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, it's been proven that like the word war is generally censored on YouTube now, and gets you toggled by the restricted mode, which is crazy, man. It's absolutely insane. And I can see it's born out of a desire to, kind of create more ad-friendly content. We had that little kerfluffle sometime last year when YouTube started pushing out some of the newer changes to the way they handle content. But like the fact that it wasn't explained at all, and the fact that it's hitting so many channels this hard, like even my channel, which is I wouldn't say is controversial in the slightest. All I do is Destiny content, like the occasional Call of Duty and Nintendo games. For 90% of my content to be hidden via restricted mode, that's a little ridiculous. Rip.
I agree.
I mean, like, there's really not much more to say about this other than it's stupid and they could mitigate. Like, can you imagine there's a yes no, like, is your content suitable for non-mature audiences? Yes no, and then if somebody flags it, then you've got to contest it. That makes 100% more sense than we're just going to arbitrarily flag everything and hope some things stick.
Yeah, and it's just, like I said, it's just like the content ID thing, where it's born from an automated system that doesn't take any sort of nuance. If they had, actual human beings sitting there and going through these things one by one, well, they'd probably never be able to get through with it. Something like, 200 billion hours of content is uploaded to YouTube every day. But the system they've got in place right now is definitely not good enough. And this is just one of many issues that YouTube's been going through as of late. This whole restricted mode thing is dumb, but it's kind of tying into the unsub thing that's going on. It might be directly linked with that, people being unsubbed from YouTube channels and whatnot. They've also been demonetizing people's videos quietly without alerting them that the videos have been demonetized. So I think we talked a bit about Total Biscuit. Philip DeFranco is another huge YouTuber. I love that guy. He does a daily show. And he went in and looked at a couple of his videos, and like 3 pages of videos were quietly demonetized. And for a guy like that, that's his career. Mm-hmm. His career is to come onto YouTube and make videos that get tons of views and pay for his livelihood. That's his full-time job. And for YouTube to make a change like that and not alert you, come on, man.
I can feel a new video service on the horizon. Like, Skype was the go-to for the longest time. Skype was where you had everybody, and then Discord came along, and it was better, and it was for gamers who were the primary demographic of Skype users, and it like nobody uses Skype anymore. Like, Skype is like fading as the term one would use for voice calling on the internet. That's how wiped out it is now.
Yeah. I mean, I only use Skype for basically the Planet Destiny podcast. That's the only time I'm on Skype now, and the only reason we use that is because Discord doesn't have video calling yet.
It's very quickly getting it though. I think in like the next month or so.
Yeah, they've been testing it. I think in alpha or beta, and if once that happens, I'm gonna tell everybody on PD to just come on over to Discord. That's where we can do our call because it's a much better platform. And yeah, alternatives are important. Right now, Twitch is a great alternative to YouTube. But, YouTube is the world's biggest social media website because that's what YouTube really is. It's social media. And I like YouTube. I've liked YouTube for the past 10 years that I've been creating content on it. But man, they are the absolute worst. And it's really something that kind of started when they were bought by Google. But they're the absolute worst when it comes to talking with their content creators and basically being upfront about their changes. And I don't want to add into the mass hysteria that's going on with a lot of big channels now talking about, oh, YouTube is dead. Oh, this is going to be the end. This is the apocalypse for content creation if that's your full-time job, because we've heard that same spiel several times before. Mm-hmm. But YouTube does have a serious set of problems that they need to address. They do.
And it's gotten to the point where YouTube creators pretty much have to have a Patreon or other subscription service like GameWisp, like just to be able to make the kind of money that they used to make. I mean, it's questionable whether or not, YouTube creators make as much as they deserve, quote unquote. That's not the discussion here. But I don't know, like I really like the idea of paying for, like, I have YouTube Red, which means that if any YouTuber has monetization on their videos, whether or not I click on the ad, they get the money, which I really like.
Actually, you don't even see ads anymore on YouTube Red,
Nope,
right? Unless you're on like a special service like gaming or YouTube Kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for one, I hate ads, but two, I don't like the idea.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that even though I've watched the ad, they're still not getting paid for it. You have to click on it, and that doesn't sit well with me. So that's why I like YouTube Red. But I mean,
It's a decent system. Yeah.
I also support people on Patreon and things like that. And I feel like that if there were other people that strongly, I mean, people do this, so I'm already correct. But if people like it enough, they'll find other ways to pay for content to make sure that it's created. I don't think that YouTubers or YouTube content is ever going to go away, but I think it will migrate away from YouTube.
You know what? At this point, I'm really hoping that that an alternative does pop up, but it's such an uphill battle for a new company because YouTube already has a massive install market.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are billions of people who use YouTube, and for any upstart company to try to become an up and comer, they'd have to find a way to match some of the benefits that YouTube offers. I mean, one of the reasons why I enjoy YouTube gaming more than Twitch is I can start streaming to YouTube right now and stream in 1080p, 60 FPS with a crazy bit rate of 9 to 10 megabytes per second, which is there's like 3 times the bit rate that Twitch allows. Mm-hmm. And it allows for great quality streams. And it's going to be hard for other upstart companies to kind of match those resources because YouTube almost does have unlimited resources with Google behind it. But whenever a company gets a little bit too big for its britches, usually another upstart company comes up and provides a bit of a better service, and that's what YouTube needs right now. It needs competition.
I agree. I mean, you've got like what are some of the other ones, like Vimeo,
yeah,
Dailymotion,
yeah, Dailymotion. Twitch is of course a competitor to YouTube. And we just need one of them to, really strike a blow to make YouTube get their act in order because they've been a little bit burger for these past couple of years, really.
I mean, going back to the Skype analogy, like Skype was also purchased by Microsoft, and then started implementing things that people didn't like, and then somebody came along with a better service, and I mean, Skype is much easier to usurp than YouTube
will be, yeah.
But and I mean, Twitch has tried super hard. Twitch has tried so hard, but they just don't offer things like video archiving forever, and channels and subscriptions and such.
It's hard to match up to that, man. It is. So. But I don't want to spend too much time complaining about YouTuber woes and whatnot. Hopefully they get their act together. I think there's a loud enough cry against them right now that they're going to have to respond. And I'll be happy to see. We'll be happy to see. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 36 of the End of the Week podcast. That was a little bit of a starting rant for you guys to get latched onto. Today is April 1st. April Fool's Day, everyone. Happy April Fool's Day, Nate. Happy April Fool's Day, John.
Joke's on you. I'm not actually here.
That's the April Fool. You're not actually here. This is pre-recorded content.
Nah.
We've had ourselves a pretty interesting week in gaming. As usual, we are your hosts, TheBlackLink, the HuntArtists, and what is your name now, John?
April Fool's God.
The April Fool's God, Blackbox. Oh, man, it's been a pretty good week, though, in gaming, hasn't it? We've had some good stuff going on, a little bit of that Destiny 2 news, a little bit of that Age of Triumph, and even more, and we will be discussing that and more over the course of today's episode. But before we start that off, I wanted to ask you guys this, but I couldn't think of a good segue for it. Anybody eaten anything interesting this week?
Oh God,
Let me see it.
I had a chocolate. I think it was a chocolate ganache cake from Publix.
Oh yeah,
I got that last week. But since we haven't done a podcast in the time, can't say anything about like the last 7 days, but last week I had a lot of those, like little slices of just chocolate ganache goodness. It was great.
So it's a layer of like diced pork chops,
okay,
and above it, it's cooked in a pan, like a bread pan.
Okay.
And above it is a layer of cinnamon applesauce.
Huh?
So it comes out kind of like a shepherd's pie, where the bottom layer is all pork chop, but the top layer is a thick like crust of applesauce.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it was seriously good. It's not dry, like it's actually super
Yeah.
moist. Yeah, it's awesome.
Pork chops and applesauce. That's a very interesting combination of flavors there. Like you got the succulent pork and then like the sweetness of it. That sounds like some southern cooking, Nate. You starting to worry me, dog. You moving a little bit south?
Nah, man, I'm just bored.
Bored. Trying
That's how you
new
earn-
things.
Yeah, that's how you spread your culinary repertoire. You get bored.
You get bored and try new things. Yeah, I'm down with that. That sounds pretty good, man. Me, I don't have anything super special this week, which is why I was asking because I miss the exotic foods. I did have a delicious bacon, cheese, and egg bagel sandwich.
Yeet.
Does that count? It was crispy Canadian bacon.
Sure.
You know, some hard scrambled eggs with some cheese mixed in there.
As we always say, we take those.
We take those here. Delicious stuff. I wanna try. There's a you guys know the special burger place I go to. They have like a burger that they top with like lamb, and I think I'm gonna try that sometime this week. I've never had lamb. I always hear good. Really?
Wait, you've never had lamb?
I have never had lamb.
Bruh. Lamb is very, very tender, very, very lean meat.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's better than like most other like beef and other red meats. I think lamb is probably the best tasting red meat.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
I'm
not
down
something
with that.
you want to have all the time, right? It's like a delicacy.
No. Like I couldn't have it all the time. It's kind of like, well, if you're across the pond, lamb is like one of their main dishes. And over there, you basically eat it maybe two times a week, maybe. But kind of like venison over here, and I guess over there as well. Like you can't have it, but like once every couple of weeks. But it's really good.
Oh well, shoot! You're kind of making me want to swing by there today.
Do it
and pick up a burger topped with some lamb and whatnot. I'm waiting for them to start doing like buffalo burgers and like venison burgers.
Yeah.
That would be the goodness there. But all right, good. That satisfies my urge for talk about delicious food stuffs. What do you say we talk a little bit about some of the games we've been getting into and some of the gaming news we've had over the course of the week?
Sounds good.
John.
Destiny.
Yeet.
Destiny's been kind of a calling back. I personally haven't been playing other than Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with you, Sean, over the past few weeks because it's what we've always done. We've done streams 3 times a week, but now that this has come out, I find myself playing at least 2 hours per day.
Yeah,
maybe an hour here and there, and I feel like it's kind of calling me back. But I kind of have a conundrum with it now that we have the Age of Triumph here in Destiny 1, and then they're announcing Destiny 2 days afterward and just telling me all your stuff is going to be gone. I'm kind of thinking, so why am I playing now?
Real.
Why am I going through all this trouble and playing, getting back into it?
The answer is because it's fun and you want that stuff.
I agree.
You want it.
That's kind of the same reasoning that I had. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm just playing this, and then 6 months down the line, Gall's just gonna break my stuff, take my stuff.
He's gonna sit on it.
He's gonna sit on it, make it smell, and then Sean and I have like a mountain of like Old Spice waiting for him. But
yep,
that can't save all of our stuff, which kind of makes me sad. But overall, the Age of Triumph is kind of playing at least an hour, maybe 2 hours on those days where we don't stream. So I'm kind of happy, but at the same time, I'm a little hesitant to just go out and start searching for stuff that I don't have. It's like, do I really want to get a perfect devil? Yeah, but 6 months down the line, I won't even use it.
You know, and that's the we talked a bit about that before on stream. Actually, that's kind of the funny thing is all this gear's coming back. For those who don't know, the Destiny Age of Triumph is the final live event, live update for Destiny. And basically what it's done is it did what all the Destiny fans have been saying they wanted for the past 3 years. Bring back the year one stuff. Bring back those year one raids. Bring back Crota's Inn, Vault of Glass. A lot of that classic gear that we all fell in love with in year one. And Bungie said, okay, let's do it. For the final update for Destiny 1, they brought back the old raids. They brought them up to max light. You can go back in. You can run Vault of Glass and get max gear. You can run Crota's Inn and get max gear. And all the classic weapons and armor from that came back with new variants. There's like new weapons and there's new armor and new ornaments. Which, by the way, John, if you really want to get our good buddy Nate into it, show him the armor from show him the glamour options for running this.
I will gladly take any excuse to be into Destiny. I know I've said that before, but like I'm hyped for Destiny 2. Like I know nothing about it. I saw the trailers.
It looks good, man.
Give me.
But yeah, so John and I, we've been playing a lot of Age of Triumph, and just like you, man, you know, usually I just play Destiny for the streams, but I've been finding myself, you know, getting home from work and saying, all right, let me hop in and see what's going on here. Let me run a couple strikes. Let me run some raids. We ran Crota's Inn like, what, 6 times this week?
Around that, I'd say.
Yeah, let's see. I ran it for all 3 of my characters. I ran it 2 extra times to help people, and then we ran it with the boys in the Legion of Prodigious W's. Yeah, so I ran it 6 times this week. 6 times for Crota's Inn, still haven't gotten a shader, and I'm mad about it. But yeah, you know, it's great. This week, Crota's Inn came back. Next week, we're getting the return of the Vault of Glass with the Year 3 Vex Mythoclast, Year 3 Fatebringer. I'm super excited to dive into that. I get the feeling it's probably going to be a very busy week. Like, all of our streams next week are probably going to be carrying people through Vault. And, I can't wait to see what the Athean Challenge is going to be. If Crota is as spook as he is right now, the Athean Challenge is probably going to be
yeah, they said that the Atheon Challenge is the hardest thing that they've ever done.
Which
yeah,
half of me makes that makes half of me smile and the other half of me dreads the 5 hours we're going to spend in there fighting him, trying to figure out how do you get this done. You know, it'll probably be something like different. You have to use different relic holders for every damage phase.
Probably, yeah. Something
like that. And, you know, don't hug a supplicant.
Yeah, don't hug a supplicant, or you have to kill maybe oracles all spawn at like well, not all of them, but maybe they spawn in waves and you have to kill them in like a certain order.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just thinking.
But
Nate,
cool.
go ahead and take a look at those screenshots and tell me what you think.
We need to show him the live stream where you actually get to see that stuff in game.
Where it actually glows, yeah.
Yeah. So if you can find the live stream and timestamp that and get that to him, that would be the nail in the coffin.
Hang on, guys.
But yeah,
go ahead and throw this into the stream. I already found one I like.
Oh, there you go. Toss it up, let them see it. But you know, in addition to Age of Triumph, we also got, of course, like you guys have been saying, the trailer and our first bit of information for Destiny 2. And I gotta say, I'm super excited about it. Now, the 2 trailers we got one early this week. It was a teaser trailer. It was just Cade 6 in a bar, getting ready to go find some Cabal. And the second trailer basically gave us the story for Destiny 2, and it confirms a lot of the leaks that we've been getting for the past couple of months about what Destiny 2 is going to be about. And to sum it up, the Cabal have, found their nuts and decided it was a great idea to invade the last city. They've taken down the tower. They blew up your vault and all your stuff. That's why none of your stuff is transferring over to Destiny 2. The Cabal came and blew it all up. You can blame Gary for that. And they're attacking the last city in what looks to be an attempt to take the Traveler. I imagine if they were going to try to destroy it, they would have just done that from space. And based on Grimoire cards about the Cabal, and with them studying the Guardians and trying to figure out exactly why we're as powerful as we are and why we literally can't be killed, some of the Grimoire shows that they figured out it's tied to our ghost and it's tied to the Traveler. So my guess is they're there to take the Traveler so that they can utilize its power for themselves. Which is that's the setup for Destiny 2. We got to see a little bit of that. It was a little bit of action between Commander Zavala and Cade 6, 2 of the Vanguard leaders. And it was just a funny little teaser trailer talking about story. There was nothing really there that showed off gameplay or anything like that. But it's nice to know that, you know, Destiny 2 is coming soon. We got the official release date, September 8th this year. And it confirmed a few other things, like we are getting a beta. That beta is going to be in the summer. And initially, it's going to be a closed beta for people who pre-ordered the game. But it will be, according to Deej, opening up after that closed beta ends and being, you know, an open beta for probably a few days so that everyone who wants to try out Destiny 2 can get their hands on it. And finally, one of the biggest bits of news about this is an age-old question was finally answered. Destiny 2 is coming to PC. Yay! Cheer! Big stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bungo. Yeah, that's been a big question people have been asking basically since Destiny 1 came out. When is this franchise coming to PC? And we now have the definitive answer. Destiny 2 will be on PC, launching September 8th. And I gotta say, I'm excited about that.
I think the bigger question is, when is the franchise not going to be held back by PS3?
Destiny 2. Yeah. This is gonna be hopefully a bigger, more expansive experience. As a matter of fact, they've already made that statement that they were allowed, you know, they were able to do much more with Destiny 2 because it was built with current gen, you know, Xbox One, PS4, probably Xbox Scorpio too, and PC in mind, and they weren't limited by some of the factors that plagued last gen. You know, one of the reasons why Destiny is like 30 FPS is because the Xbox 360 and the PS3 couldn't handle 60, and hopefully, since this game's coming to PC, hopefully that means Destiny 2 is going to be 60 FPS, because I get a feeling the PC Master Race Bros, of which I proudly claim membership, we're not going to tolerate, you know, sub 30 FPS game, for especially in a first-person shooter on the PC platform. Nobody agrees?
I couldn't agree more.
So
What, John?
it doesn't really affect me since I'm a filthy console pleb. So,
well, I want it to be 60 FPS on console too. Like, it had better be 60 FPS.
I would certainly hope.
What do you think our chances of cross-platform are?
Oh my
Zero.
gosh.
Zero.
Probably zero. I really wish that weren't the case. I really wish not only that it was cross-platform, that it was a unified account, so I could take my character on PS4 and go play on PC,
But
or
PvP
go play on
would be a
Xbox.
mess.
Yeah, but well, there couldn't be PvP parity between consoles and PC. That just would not work. But it could work just fine for, you know, Xbox and PlayStation.
It makes me wonder how Final Fantasy XIV manages, because that's totally cross-platform, and it has
It's just a
PvP.
different game.
Yeah.
It's just a different game. You know, there's
I mean, literally,
mouse and keyboard.
I don't know. I haven't played the PvP.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like running a raid, except you're fighting other players. And since, you know, everything's cooldown based, it's not like, you know, it's a Twitch accuracy based game like a first person shooter would be. So, you know, Destiny 2 PC, I'm excited about it. We also got, you know, information about the different packages that are going to be coming out. The standard edition, it's going to have a season pass, although they call it an expansion pass. I think most companies are trying to get away from the term season pass.
Yeah.
But it's going to be 2 expansions. The price, did you see what the price of the expansion pass was, John?
It was $35.
$35. What do you mean?
Yep.
That's
the Destiny 1 was 30.
Yeah. So it's going to be $35, up $5 from Destiny 1. It's basically going to be the exact same setup as Destiny 1, where it's the base game. You can get the expansion pass, and the expansion pass covers the first 2 expansions, which they already have planned. Not sure how I feel about that, but I'm not surprised by it.
Which, if you look at the teaser, or what the emblems are on the expansion passes, dealing with Osiris and Rasputin and the Warminds, which that is just speculation by what we're seeing. It could be something else.
That was definitely the Osiris emblem for expansion pass 1, and it's definitely a Warmind symbol for expansion pass 2, and I'm hoping that means we're raiding a certain Charlemagne's vault.
We better be.
Maybe, question mark? All this content that was originally supposed to be in Destiny 1. Oh, so we'll see though.
Yeah, Sean, we've essentially had the ongoing theory that Destiny 2 is basically just Forge of Gods from way back when. Before Taken King, there was Forge of Gods.
Yeah, it was Cabal-centered Forge of Gods. It had to do with the Cabal and something dealing with Osiris.
Mhm.
And it just got scrapped for the Comet DLC, which essentially we learned became the Taken King.
Yep. Which I'm not angry that they cut Forge of Gods from Destiny 1. Personally,
Mhm.
I felt like Destiny 1 was already being held back by its past gen limitations, and I
Yeah.
actually respect the notion that they would scrap the content and keep it for a game where they can put a lot more effort into it and they can expand on their ideas more without being held back by previous hardware limitations. So,
Yeah,
so I respect them for that. So thank you.
I was gonna say, overall, I'm happy with Destiny 1. I'm satisfied with that game, and I cannot wait for Destiny 2. We're going to be getting our first actual look at gameplay for this game in about a month and a half. May 18th, Bungie's going to be going live on their Twitch page, having a live stream showing off gameplay from Destiny 2, which surprised me. When they said we were going to be getting our first bit of gameplay on May 18th, I figured it'd just be a trailer, like it'd be the patented Activision trailer where it's, extremely controlled PvP environment and just quick cutscenes. But no, we're getting a live stream of it, man, which I'm all for that.
I feel like for a game like this, you need to at least like see the game for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I know like Call of Duty usually has their reveals around May, around the same time. But it's
They're usually
just
unveiled in May.
Yeah, and they're usually just kind of like you said, a bunch of cutscenes just kind of spliced, and then a little bit of gameplay footage, and then go back to some trailer footage, go back to gameplay footage. But for Destiny, we've gotten gameplay demos, like I guess since before Destiny 1, there was always like gameplay demos after gameplay demos. Like you saw the first mission, going into the Cosmodrome wall, fighting that Archon, finding the Thunderlord in the locker over there.
Before
Bungie
everything changed.
Yeah, before everything changed.
You remember that trailer, dude? Like he got a Thunderlord drop from an engram.
Yeah, and then it had like so many nodes.
And hand cannons were secondaries.
Yep. And
seriously, for you guys listening to this, go look up the 2013 gameplay reveal for Destiny. It looked it was completely different.
Hunters had solar nades.
Hunters had solar nades, and like I think Warlock Melee had like a knife. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was some weird stuff.
But I feel like Destiny is the type of game, and Bungie is that type of company to show their customers and their consumers at least put the carrot on the stick. Don't just splice me like 5 cutscenes and then show like 2 seconds of you running through like a field in the Cosmodrome with a pulse rifle. No, show your Guardian going out into the wilderness and doing something. Because
seriously.
Because if it wasn't apparent, we're getting away from that wall and that city. We're going to go out and do stuff. Granted, we're probably going to go back there just like turn like stuff in, but
that'll probably be the hub. Yeah.
I mean, we're getting off that tower. Hopefully, I'm tired of being stuck on top of that tower. The city is right below me. I'm looking at all the buildings and all the little tree lines and mountains off in the distance. I'm like,
all the possibilities. Yeah,
I want to go there, fam. Like, please, man.
And, hopefully exploration is going to have a bigger focus in Destiny 2. But, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Age of Triumph is still roaring on. I'm having fun with that. We're getting Destiny 2 news very soon. I can't wait to see the gameplay on May 18th. And the full game itself is, of course, coming out on September 8th. And I'm psyched about it. But all right. What do you say we move on from Destiny and take things into a little bit more of a wild landscape?
Oh, can we talk about like how the 8th is on a Friday?
Yes.
So if you aren't like familiar with what companies that do like shared world games like this, usually stuff drops on Tuesday, weekly resets are on Tuesday. Content releases are on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a game dropping on Friday, and it seems like Bungie's kind of moving towards the industry standard of dropping their game on a Friday.
You know, and like I said, we talked about this before. That's a Nintendo move.
It is a Nintendo move, dropping games on Friday. And what's funny is that looking at like games coming up in the next few months, most other people just drop their games on Tuesday because that's kind of been the industry where you drop games is on like Tuesday or but for Nintendo-based consoles and other, like, I guess, consoles that want to give you the weekend to play the game, they'll drop it on like Friday and say, here, go have the weekend to play this thing.
Yeah.
Which I think is a smart move by Bungie, because I personally thought that they were going to drop it on like the 12th, which was the following Tuesday. I was like, okay, if they're gonna drop the game, it's gonna be on a Tuesday, because that's what Bungie does. That's what they've always done. Nope, they're gonna do their own thing, which I respect wholeheartedly. They're trying to give their consumer a good 3 days to take the game and play it.
Do we know for the reason behind the Tuesday?
WoW.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
well,
Yeah.
WoW.
That was the standard for WoW, and like the rest of the gaming industry was just like, okay, well, I guess this is the day when we release everything.
Tuesdays are kind of the day for content drops and usual game releases. Think about it, Nate. For the upcoming like game drops, like the major ones. Let me go back to April real quick on my calendar.
Just next week we got a big one.
Yeah, next week drops on a Tuesday. The week after that drops on a Tuesday. 2 weeks from that drops on a Tuesday. And then on that Friday, the 28th, comes a Nintendo game.
Yep.
It's just kind of like, scratch his chin. But
I mean, Friday makes so much more sense to me.
oh, it does for a game that's not like a shared world or an MMO, or just a game that you want your consumers to play over the weekend. Yeah, it's a perfectly like fine move, and I think it's a great move by Bungie to drop it on a Friday.
Agreed.
Which, if they start doing content and like weekly resets on Fridays, that's actually like really smart. Because think about this, Sean. Drops on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday are your follow-up days after your weekly reset. You're off school, you're off of work, you just blaze through content on your time off, and then you just kind of do things here and there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Reset happens on Friday. That would be smart, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I think they may still Tuesday reset, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Black Flag in the chat actually made a really great point. It's much easier to perform maintenance during the week because there's going to be less people playing it.
Yeah.
True, yeah. Okay. Oh, Black Flag, if you're listening, you're still in the Sean's public server chat. Just want to let you know that.
And we just want to make sure that everybody knows that.
Yeah. He's been there for like 3 days.
Everyone's going to know Black Flag. This is going in the podcast.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
Your permanent record. Everyone will know you just lurk.
If it makes you feel any better, John was doing the same thing the other day.
Yeah, I was asleep.
But yeah, so that Destiny 2 coming out on a Friday, it's weird. I don't know how they're going to handle reset, because they can't just have 2 days of gameplay or 3 days of gameplay and then reset. It's going to be weird. So, unless reset days are going to be on Friday, which would be interesting how they'd work that in with their other in-game events. But I guess we'll just have to find out then.
I think they may just. I guess this would be a bad move by them, but considering that how long it just takes to gear level 1, I would not be surprised if they launched it on Friday. Just locked kind of the weekly the weekly activities until Tuesday, give you a chance to finish the base game, gear up a little bit. Still have strikes and crews do over the weekend, just kind of ease yourself in, and then boom, Tuesday. Okay, here's your nightfall. Here's your playlist. Go do your bounties, your quest for the week. Do your weekly. Now that you've had a chance to ease in, get your bearings, be like, okay, now this is what this game is going to do now. And it's probably going to be the same thing for raids. Give you a week to do your weekly challenges and other things, and the next Tuesday, drop the raid. Which, Cabal raid, smelly raid.
Yeah, the smelly raid. Make sure you bring your Old Spice for it.
Please do.
Oh, speaking of Old Spice, I can confirm that Axe Body Spray does not return in Double Cross.
Rip.
Sadness.
Mad about it. Why would they get rid of the best item Hunter ever had?
They turned it into a Hunter art.
That's bougie.
Yeah.
Smells.
Boo. Mad about it.
Well,
all right.
That I think smells like Congalonga.
Ugh.
Please don't.
Want to smell like Congalonga. Oh, man. What do you say we move on from Destiny? Because we've got some other stuff to discuss this week. First and foremost, let's talk a little bit about some Breath of the Wild, some Zelda there. We have some little bits of information about that, don't we? One, Breath of the Wild got itself a little bit of an update on Switch. Nate, have you had a chance to play it?
I have, and so a lot of people are saying that the frame rate has improved thanks to the patch. I have not noticed a difference yet, but I wasn't really looking for it. GameXplain went to a couple of notoriously bad frame rate drop areas, like Kokiri Forest and things like that, and a lot of people are getting varied results. Like they went in and they got a slight frame rate improvement, but other people are going in and it's worse. So it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I mean the Korok Forest, it's. I don't know what they could do to change that. There's so much going on in there. It just chugs when you face certain directions in there. Near the Master Sword especially, because there's just so many visual effects going on. There's so many, individual plants and trees and stuff billowing in the wind. Yeah, I watched GameXplain's video on that. It definitely seems improved out in the world, just out in the world space. The frame rate problems seem to be mostly alleviated. But it still chugs in Korok Forest. And I imagine, the Wii U didn't get this update. So, rip, no change for us, John.
I don't really care. I think the game's fine how it is.
Don't lie to me.
No, I mean, the game's fine how it is.
No, it's still an amazing game.
Yeah.
If you guys saw that, I just got a Korok seed for blowing up choo-choos. Sure.
And I'm happy about it. Good job. Kill the choo-choos. But, additionally, we also didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, but, we've all beaten the game. Are we all ready to talk a little bit about how we feel about Breath of the Wild?
Should we give a spoiler alert?
So long to do this. Okay. Big spoiler warning. If you have not completed Breath of the Wild, if you have not played Breath of the Wild, don't listen to this. Stop what you're doing. Stop breathing, and go breathe Breath of the Wild.
Or something else.
Something.
Yeah, because we are going to get into some serious spoilers here. So if you haven't beaten Breath of the Wild, you might want to tune out for maybe the next, let's give it a hard time, 10 or so minutes. You guys think we can get through the spoilers in
yeah, I think so.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I'm going to give 7 minutes. 7 minutes is all the time I have to spend on Breath of the Wild. Are you kidding me? So, a couple seconds of silence. One last opportunity for you guys to get on out if you don't want any story spoilers for Breath of the Wild. If you are still here, you have consented to being spoiled on the game. Let's go. So you had a couple of questions you wanted to ask, Nate. Now's your time. What did you want to know?
What did you guys think at the end?
I'll let John go first.
That's the big
thing. Ganon was a burger. He was a pork chop. He was pulled pork.
Not covered in apple glaze.
He was not covered in applesauce.
Let's preface this, John. For anyone who has not actually completed Zelda but still wants to know the ending, once you have beaten all 4 dungeons, the 4 spirits that inhabit the 4 sacred beasts, they shoot a laser into Hyrule Castle and weaken Ganon for you, so that when you're fighting him, you stand a chance. But if you're like us, and you got super beefed out with all the best weapons and armor and upgrades and things like that, Ganon was already like pretty doable.
He was easy. Let's be honest. Ganon was extremely easy. The Lionels are a harder fight than Ganon.
Exactly, yeah. So what the lasers do is they split Ganon's health in half.
Yeah.
So you only really fight half of Ganon. And that kind of sucks because there's no way to turn that off. Unless you just go straight and ignore all of the dungeons.
Yeah.
But then you miss some cool power-ups.
Really cool power-ups. I mean, here's how I felt. I didn't mind so much that the Sacred Beast cut Ganon's health in half. I figured, that's cool. They wanted to make it so that you could beat this game in multiple different ways, and including by just heading straight to Ganon and fighting him. And I thought, okay, well, if you have all the beasts, then it weakens Ganon in the final encounter, but you can still fight him normally. So I didn't have so much of a problem with that. I really don't have too many issues with the final boss fight because I was just so thrilled with the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, sure, I was, you could expect some crazy, super epic final boss fight, and the final boss fight is fairly epic. It's just it doesn't match kind of the hype that's built up around the rest of the game.
And there is no Ganondorf.
Yeah,
Well,
there's no Ganondorf.
That has an explanation, Nate.
Oh,
because
that
Calamity. Do you want me to say it?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
no, I mean, spoiler talk. Go for it.
I mean, I know you know, but they may not know.
Yeah.
Ganon chose to forego his reincarnation, which was set up by his great granddaddy Demise, who basically put a curse on the royal family and on whoever holds the Triforce of Courage. And Ganon said, "You know what? I really don't want to be reincarnated as a male Gerudo. I'll just go ahead and become this big swirling cloud of smell. That'll be good."
Well, other way around, John. It was the other way around. He was trying to reincarnate after he breaks free of Zelda's control. You slapping him in Guardian form made him basically say, "Okay, screw this. I'm just going into full Triforce of Power mode." That's when when he did his foregoing of his reincarnation as Ganondorf.
I think he's just talking about Calamity Ganon the first time he came back. When he was sealed by Zelda. He decided instead of just oh, I'm going to be super powerful, badass dude with magic, I'm just going to be a giant swirling cloud of death.
Smell pig.
And I'm just going to envelop Hyrule Castle and there's nothing they can do about it. And guess what? He was right.
Yeah. And, I don't have too many problems with the way Ganon looked. We talked a little bit about this before the podcast. Ganon's first form is basically him inhabiting a guardian. That's what that is. He's basically taken over a giant guardian, and you kind of fight a giant guardian Ganon with a bunch of crazy over the top guardian weapons. But it's for the most part a pretty quick and pretty easy fight. It's a little bit underwhelming, like Radiant Duke is saying in the comments there. The fight did seem a little bit underwhelming, and then of course after you beat Ganon's first form, that's when he forgoes his physical resurrection and just becomes pure Ganon, demon, big pig beast. What did you guys think of that second fight?
Terrible.
It's not great. I also want to say, we are all huge fans of this game. Just because we're not so keen on the ending, I don't want to make it seem as though we were displeased with the game as a whole. I also thought that fight was really underwhelming. I think it would have been great as a victory lap, after you had fought human Ganon, or even if it's not like Gerudo Ganon or Gerudo Ganondorf, just some form of man-to-man fight would have been great.
Yeah. Like Twilight Princess had, where you beat Ganon first. Well, you beat up Zelda first, and then you extract Ganon from her, you beat Ganon, and then the very end is literally a sword fight surrounded by flames with Ganondorf the man.
Or you could have done barbarian Ganon from Ocarina of Time. You could have done
barbarian
big swinging pig barbarian Ganon, and I would have been fine with that too. I didn't need the dwarf. I could have had the pig, but make the pig actually have swords.
Yeah, well, and you know what? My only issue with that final encounter is that it's not a fight.
No, it's just
it's not a fight at all.
Around him shooting him with flight arrows. It's
because it's really cool. It's a really cool set piece. It reminds me kind of the Ganon fight in Hyrule Warriors, where you're like just going around Hyrule Field and like you just got giant Ganon. And it's a lot like that where he's just a giant. He's in giant Ganon pig mode. He just walks really slowly and fires giant beams that half the time aren't even aimed at you. And you have to ride around, and Zelda will point out several points of light on his limbs that you have to shoot with the light arrows that she gives you, because this is a Zelda game. They generally end the same way. And then once you're done with that, you shoot him in the face, and that's it. That's the end of the fight. It's a beautiful set piece. It's not a final battle. There's no challenge there.
And it also doesn't help that I don't love Zelda.
Really, you don't like
the
Zelda's character in this?
I don't dislike her character. Like they sell her pretty hard on the she doesn't like you at first thing, but then it becomes blatantly clear like, oh, they had a thing, they were great. But like there are so many waifus in this game, and Zelda is like easily the least appealing.
Nah, you all about that Mifa life, aren't you?
Yeah. She resurrects you. She built a suit of armor and wove one of her scales into it because she loves you so much.
Yeah, she was wife. Look, Mifa was indeed waifu material in this game. Absolutely.
I'm totally down with Link and Zelda just being like pals.
Well, that's unfortunate because Mifa died and Zelda's still alive, so you don't get to choose.
Yeah, well, you know who else is alive? Paya.
Oh yeah, she is too.
Like I said,
she wants that dig though.
The Legend of Zelda: 1,000 Years of Waifu.
1,000 years of waifu, yeah, that's pretty much Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I didn't mind Zelda's character too much. She's by far the character with the most amount of development in the game. And I'm assuming I know both of you guys probably got all the memories and all the files and read like her diary and everything. And I can understand her character motivation. You know, she feels like she's a failure, and Link is like the exact opposite of her. Link excels at everything he does, and she kind of fails at everything she does. That's kind of the story they're building.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that's a really great thing because like Zelda in all the other games has always just been like, even when she's kidnapped and like held at magical gunpoint, she's always just like, oh, the Triforce and the you are the hero and we know this and that and this is the prophecy. But in this, it's just kind of like, no, nothing makes sense. I'm trying so hard. Shut up.
And I suck.
And Zelda has something she wants to do other than being the princess, which is extremely appealing. Like, she wants to be a researcher. She doesn't give a crap about like being the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia.
Yeah, she wants to learn more about the history of her world and the ancient technologies of the Sheikah, and I thought that was really cool.
I did too.
So yeah, I would say I loved Zelda's character in this game because, well, she actually has character. She's not the emotionless, heartless ex-GF that she was in Twilight Princess, where it's like, do you even actually care if I live or die as Link? Nah, probably not. But this game, I mean, honestly, this game is chock full of great characters. Even the other four Guardians, even though they don't get as much screen time, I think they're all fantastic.
Yeah, if some of them are a little poorly voice acted.
Oh, okay. Which one did you not like?
Rivali, I like. I feel like he's done well. Like he's not my favorite guy, but you're not supposed to like him. Is this thing made of metal? Oh, it's made of metal. That's fine.
So which one gives you trouble, Nate?
Daruk?
Daruk gives you trouble? He's just a Goron.
He is, but he's just got such a, like, I'm trying to sound like my voice is deep.
That's what Gorons are supposed to sound like.
But the others don't. And neither does his little buddy, the super ripped one that you hang out with most of the game.
By the way, I love his design. Daruk's descendant, I can't remember what his name is, but he has such a burger face and he's like super tall, and he has a six-pack where none of the other Gorons have that. Oh god, I love his design. He's fantastic. But yeah, he doesn't have like the super deep Goron voice like this. But I thought, that's okay, and I didn't mind Daruk's voice actually.
It's just like, I feel like they could have done with a little bit more like voice alteration and less like, I'm trying to sound like I'm Goron, brother. Like, and that's the other
Hogan
thing.
Goron.
The other problem I had was the voice acting isn't consistent with the writing in game. So like in the game, they're like, "We need to get to the top of the mountain, Goro." But like you listen to him, he never says Goro. He never has any of the other mannerisms
the
of the
actual
Goron.
voice acting itself. You know, how much of the, like, do you remember a lot of the Goron dialogue? He's actually the only one who says Goro.
No, a lot of them do.
I cannot remember any other Goron who says the stereotypical Goro at the end of like every other sentence besides him. I mean, I might be wrong.
I can't recall any specific one, but I'm certain that the others do.
Yeah, I might be wrong. It's just, but I remember thinking to myself after meeting him and he was saying Goro, I was like, oh, hey, man, there's finally a Goron who actually says that. Because I didn't notice it on anybody else. I might be wrong, though. But, yeah, look, okay, Husky Raid in the chat, Mega, my buddy, says, I love Zelda in this game. The story of the game is all about her character journey to accepting her destiny and overcoming her fear that she can't live up to it. Yeah, you know, that was pretty much it, because if you remember the final memory, once you got the other, like, 12, the final memory is her finally activating her powers by saving, well, not really saving, she was a little bit slow on the draw there, but after Link gets bodied, which, by the way, Link is an absolute badass in this game.
Oh yeah, Link is like, I kind of wish the Master Sword were a katana, because he's just so the samurai in this game.
He is. Like, and I love I said a little bit earlier about how Zelda sees the dichotomy between her and Link, and how Link's basically perfect at everything he does, and it reminds her constantly of her personal failures. I remember this one cutscene where she's like tending to Link, and she's like, you know, he's got a cut on him, she's fixing it up, so you get the signal, oh, he just finished a fight, he must have, you know, fought, you know, some bokoblins or something, and then as the scene continues on and like it zooms out, it starts showing what he was fighting, and there's like tons of dead Lynels and bokoblins and moblins and guardians. It's like an entire battlefield of enemies was slaughtered by Link. Mm-hmm. It's like, this dude's a monster. And then of course, you know, the final memory where Link finally gets taken down, and it's like he's killed a ton of guardians before finally getting overwhelmed. And then of course that's when Zelda wakes up or awakens her power. Link is a monster in this game.
I gotta ask, where do you guys think the bokoblins and moblins come from now? Because it used to be like, oh, they're the spawn of Ganon. They they appear when he appears, and he just like kind of commands them. But in this, it's kind of assumed that they're just denizens of the forest or whatever, and they're always here, even when they were there before Ganondorf was resurrected.
Well, remember, they're originally the spawn of Demise. They were part of hundreds of thousands of years ago, and before Skyward Sword, they were part of Demise's demon army. Mm-hmm. And they're certainly still tied to Ganon in this. That's why, you know, every time there's a blood moon, they revive. Ganon's power is reviving all those enemies across the world. Which, by the way, I love that mechanic. For an open world game like this, that's a great way to logically point out why this base full of enemies that you slaughtered is back. But yeah, man, story-wise, I really enjoy Breath of the Wild. It's got a very subtle way of telling story. I mean, you can skip story entirely and just go straight to Ganon. And
speaking of which, Sean, the world record right now is 43 minutes and 33 seconds.
They got it down to sub 45?
Yup.
Let's go. That's nuts. I'm gonna have to watch one of those. I'm gonna have to watch one of those speed runs to see exactly what they're doing.
Young. And the game is still young.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's good stuff. But you know, that's part of the open-endedness of this game, which I love. I seriously hope the 3D Zeldas are all going to be like this moving forward, because I can't imagine them going back to the linear style of Zelda, or at least for the 3D games now.
There are a lot of people I'm seeing that feel as though this is a spin-off and not a true Zelda. To those people, I just want to say, please go dunk your head in a toilet. Like,
a clean toilet, please.
A clean toilet. We don't want you to get hurt. I would never wish damage on you, but a toilet nonetheless. I hope you smell. Like, this game.
I hope you smell.
This game. It is Zelda in every single facet. Like, it just happens to be in a really big world, and there's physics. That's like it. Mm-hmm. It's Zelda.
It just doesn't have linearity now?
Yes.
Question mark?
I mean,
yeah.
Do you want linearity in a Zelda?
If you want linear storytelling, go play Horizon.
Like, if
Damn.
the
Zelda.
thing that you're missing is that there aren't big elemental-themed dungeons, that I can totally understand. But otherwise, this is a Zelda through and through.
Yeah, how did you guys feel about the dungeons? Because really, there are only 4. Now, there's tons of there's 120 mini dungeons in the shrines all across the world, and I love that. But there's only really 4 major dungeons in this game.
I feel like there could have been more, but at the same time, I love that you can just go in, go out, get what you want. Like, in this file that I'm playing right now, this is a separate file from my main story. I decided that I was going to get Rivali's Gale first. So I've got 4, I had 4 hearts when I went in. I got a heart, I got a couple stamina things, and I just went straight for Rivali and Meadow. And I went in, I got my power up, I bopped the boss, and I was done. And I got my power, and now I'm ready to explore wherever I want to.
Yeah, I like the dungeons that are tied to the Guardians. I thought the puzzles in them were really, really well designed. And I think the biggest sign that they're really well designed is that you can complete them in different unintended ways. There's completely the puzzles are designed in such a way that there's a set solution for it, but because of the way the physics in this game works and the opportunities it allows you, you can completely upend that and complete the puzzles in a completely unexpected manner. And I think that's fantastic. And that's the case for basically the 4 major dungeons and all of the shrines in the game. And I love that open-ended nature. Something else that is going to be kind of controversial to old school Zelda fans, I hope I don't trigger Mega in the chat right now, that I really enjoyed, the dungeons themselves are primarily devoid of enemies.
They're devoid of enemies, and they're short.
And they're short, yeah. And I love that.
Amazingly short. Like,
The thing that sticks out to me is that dungeons were always a big time sink.
Yeah.
These dungeons, like you said, are fairly short, but what makes up for them are the ton of puzzles scattered throughout the land in the form of shrines and the plethora of side quests. Just like so many side quests, I don't even know what to do with them. Like, I look at my side quest bar and it's still got like 20 or 30 quests just chilling in there. I'm like, when am I gonna get to this? Sometime. Or when I get like sidetracked in an area and then I come across a different like NPC that has a little red exclamation point on their head. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should do something for them. It's just a good time sink away from dungeons, and I feel like Nintendo did a good job balancing their main dungeons with their side quests and their shrines and their little Korok puzzles and seeds and all that stuff. But I don't think that the dungeons and power ups and like equipment were the main focus. It was the exploration. It was
the exploration, yeah.
Hence the name Breath of the Wild. The main focus was not the traditional Zelda formula. It was getting out there and
exploring.
Yeah.
And you know what? They kind of took the system from A Link Between Worlds. And A Link Between Worlds, you can explore the dungeons in whatever order you want. You just have to have a specific item to get in there and get through the dungeon. And that item isn't tied to the dungeon. You get it from Ravio's shop. And they kind of took that sort of idea of not tying essential items to the dungeons you're exploring, or getting those items from the dungeons that you're exploring, and expanded upon it in Breath of the Wild. All the tools you need to complete each and every one of the dungeons in this game, you get before you leave the plateau. And I loved that. It gave you the tools that you needed to complete every challenge in this game, and then just sent you out in the world. And the items that you get from the dungeons are usually just, like rupees, or, maybe 1 or 2 hidden weapons that are in the dungeon that'll be pretty darn strong. And I love that. You're absolutely right, John, when you say it just kind of adds to the whole exploration thing. And that's great, man. It's great. Would I mind more normal style dungeons? No, man. I would have been happy if we had 1 or 2 more big dungeons akin to the Guardians in the game. But I'm happy with what we got, and we've got DLC coming, which is apparently going to be adding dungeons, and I'll definitely be looking forward to that. Also, Rip Nate, that horse didn't like you.
Yeah. Is this is that the princess's horse? I feel like it is.
It might be. It's white. She was riding a white steed. For those who are listening to this podcast, Nate is playing some live gameplay right now, and he thinks he just found Princess Zelda's horse.
Scared it off. All right.
But so I don't mind the Guardian dungeons you've got in the game. And I really enjoyed, like I said, the fact that they were mostly devoid of enemies, and they were more about the puzzles that you had to figure out to complete the dungeon than anything else. We had no Ocarina of Time water temples.
Yeah.
Which
I have a question for each of you.
okay.
What was your favorite type of shrine? Was it test of strength? Was it your traditional puzzles? Was it your labyrinths? Was it just like trials, like the Korok trials? Like, which was your favorite type of shrine?
Oh,
Would you
God.
say?
That's so hard to say because like there are some.
Because they're really good. I know.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first, Sean.
Okay. Not the motion control ones.
Okay.
The motion-
Yeah,
motion
you had a lot of
control-
trouble with those motion control ones. I did.
Yeah.
The motion control ones can hold a fat L because they were the worst thing in the game. They are my least favorite thing in the game. My favorite type of shrine. You know what? It would probably be the maze. There are what, 3 mazes across the map, and once
All
you complete
3,
them,
you get the barbarian set for all 3. Yep.
Wait,
that was my
no,
least
this-
favorite easily.
Oh, okay. That was my favorite because you go through these crazy mazes. They're filled with really strong enemies, and some decent hidden weapons. I remember I think the Akala maze has like a hidden flame greatsword and like a hidden pedestal, which looks super awesome.
Mhm.
And getting through those mazes was a challenge itself. And then once you get to the shrine is just like, it's one of those shrines where like, hey, just getting to this shrine shows that you are the hero of legend. Here, take this reward and go. You don't have to do anything else.
Mhm.
And I think it's the North Akala maze that once I got through the maze itself and completed it and got to the shrine and got the item for the shrine, I dropped down to the bottom floor and it's like a guardian graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And like down there, there's just a bunch of dead and deactivated guardians, like about 20 of them just everywhere. And there's a single treasure chest. Inside that treasure chest is the diamond circlet, which gives you guardian resist up. But the moment you pick up that chest, like 10 of the guardians activate and all start laser targeting you. That was one of my favorite moments because I just dropped down there. Like, cause after I finished the shrine, I'm walking out and I see the air gust coming up from the hole that leads down there. And I was like, oh, I wonder what's down there. I wonder if I can go down there. Hop down. And it's like, oh, I can. Oh, hey, look, it's a room. As soon as I saw all the guardians in there and I saw the treasure chest, I was like, I know what's going to happen. I know what you're trying to do. You open the treasure chest, all of them turn on and start targeting you. And you just have to basically fight for your life to get out of there or run as fast as you can. I chose to kill them all because that's what I do.
Oh yeah.
Eat.
There is definitely Guardians are probably the smartest enemy that they've ever added to a Zelda game because they are extremely challenging. They're everywhere. You know exactly, like the instant that you see one, you know that's bad. And you can kill them from day one. Like,
Yeah.
in this file that I'm doing right now, on the Great Plateau, I sought out every single Guardian I could find, and I killed them all with only the whatever it's called. What is this? The beginning set, the old shirt and the old well-worn trousers, and a bow and shield. And I took them all down with just a shield by reflecting their lasers back at them.
And that's rough, man, because those things, they can one-shot you, even up until late game. Guardians are a constant danger to you. Like, those things can really, especially the flying ones. Oh, gosh, screw the flying ones.
I don't even mess with those.
Yeah, I love the design of those enemies, and I love the implementation for them. It's a fantastic enemy group, and they're a constant threat throughout the game. Until you become He-Man at the very, very end, where they can still kill you fairly quickly. But once you get some of the ancient stuff, you can actually go hunting for them.
And the Lionel bow.
And the Savage Lionel bow is a monster.
So good.
I think it's a monster.
How do you guys feel about the absence of Dark Nuts?
I think
DLC.
it would have been. Yeah, I think it would have been way cooler if they were.
I feel like Guardians have taken the place of Dark Nuts.
I feel like Lionels have.
You think Lionels have?
The return of the Lionels, I think, have taken the place of Dark
Yeah.
Knight. Remember, Lionels were in
Zelda 2.
Legend of Zelda and Legend of Zelda 2, Adventure of Link. They were a bigger threat in Zelda 2 because they were freaking annoying.
They were so annoying.
they were super duper butt frustrating. But I'd like to see Darknet's return in this game. I think there's, aesthetically, there's so much they could do with that, and hopefully that'll be a part of the DLC that's coming.
Hopefully. So Nate, did you say which type of shrine puzzle was your favorite?
Oh no, I didn't. I would have to say all the physics-based ones that don't involve rotating a platform. I'd say.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Like the motion control ones, while I didn't have any problem with it, I got to use the Wii or the Switch Pro controller, so I'm kind of biased. Like this thing's great with motion controls. Like there's one where you have to hold it in such a way that a pillar becomes a golf club, and you have to putt an orb into the little socket.
Yeah.
And that's really fun. That was really cool. But my favorite ones are the ones where you have to step back and would this work in a video game? No, but it would work in real life, so I'm gonna try. That is my favorite. That's probably one of my favorite things about this game as a whole, is it forces you to stop thinking of it as a video game and start thinking of it as like a living, breathing world with
a
realistic
puzzle,
physics and
yeah.
things. Like, there is one where, God, there's so many. It's kind of hard to say. There's one where you have to, there are these diagonal platforms that keep pistoning forward, and then they go back and they piston. And there's a little socket like right in front of it. And I learned later that there's a wall towards the end that it's too high for me to throw a bomb up there. But I don't have any bomb arrows. If I had bomb arrows, you could probably solve it right away.
Yeah.
But if you put a bomb in front of those pistoning platforms, it shoots it in the air like a cannon. And if you detonate your bomb at just the right time, it blows it up. And it's stuff like that like you would expect, like, oh, there must be like a switch or something I hit, and then like whatever, the platforms go away or something. Like, that's what it would have been in an old Zelda, but in this, it's there's an infinite number of ways that you can solve a puzzle.
Exactly.
And, like, I'm watching other YouTubers play this game, and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, why don't they just this? And then I remember to myself, like, oh, that's because there's a million different ways you could do this, and that's the fun of it. It's actually a little frustrating to watch people play this game, because there are so many ways that you can do it, and the fun of it is, like, you do
figuring
it
it out, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the beauty of kind of the open world nature that Nintendo created here. Which, by the way, that's totally Princess Zelda source. Good job.
Yeah.
How did it survive 100 years?
I don't know, man. It waited right here for me.
It was just like, hey, man, I'm waiting for that Link kid to show up. I mean, I guess the same way Ganondorf's horse survived like 10,000 years.
Yeah. I totally named that horse Dragmire, by the way.
Oh, I named him McLarge Huge. But yeah, man, again, that back to what we said about the puzzles. The fact there's so many ways for you to complete it. It's beautiful.
You guys are about to witness a glorious horse glitch.
Rip? Question mark? You're a couple seconds ahead of us on the live gameplay.
It'll be on the bridge. I'm sorry. Go ahead with what you were saying.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about. By the way, people in chat are talking about how Zelda is a waifu. She is a waifu. She is a waifu. It's probably not the best waifu in the game. Oh, that is a Skyrim level horse glitch. Yeah. That is a Skyrim level physical horse glitch. That horse is touched. But we're talking about content that might be coming in the future. This game does have a season pass. It does have DLC that's on the way. I think the first bit we're getting sometime in the summer, right?
June.
Big. That's sooner than I was imagining. That's great.
That's if summer ever comes. It's just gonna be winter forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd like the winter weather to stay, but summer can roll around. But so you guys have beaten the game. You got all the memories, right?
I've gotten all the memories.
You got the Master Sword, right?
Yeah.
Got the Master Sword.
So you triggered the true ending.
That is
of course.
Okay. So in the true ending, it directly basically correlates to upcoming content.
Yep.
What did you guys think of that? What do you think it's going to lead to?
Well, I mean, the ending is open-ended enough that they could just continue with an epilogue. but I would rather play the Fall of Hyrule. That's what I want the DLC to be. The pre, like Zelda's adventure, going to all the shrines to do the
in the past.
yeah, to get all of the sacred blessings or whatever. Oh my
That would
goodness,
be in
we're
DLC 2. That would be in the winter. I think the tagline for that was "New Original Story" was being added.
And dungeons, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
you
think
just
for
want
this,
to you're asking what would be in this most recent one, or upcoming?
No,
one?
I was just asking, story-wise, what do you
What
think
would
the
you want?
DLC is going to be? Because
Yeah.
based on the ending, Zelda says a couple of things there to the extent of there's still some stuff going on that we need to take care of, including X, Y, and Z. And what do you guys think it's going to lead to?
I don't know, but I want to play a Zelda.
I think that's going to be. I think they hint at that with the ending of this game, where she's all decked out in her gear, just like you,
Speaking of
and
her
getting ready to
gear,
head out into the world.
there is a weird, like, amount of booty in her outfit.
Yo,
Like, have
it's
you
not
seen-
weird.
Have you
It's
seen?
thick.
Yeah. Have you seen the concept art?
For Zelda? No,
Yeah,
I haven't.
They show her from all different angles, and when they show her directly from the side, it's just a hard, like it's like they put like a Christmas ham in her butt.
Boy,
boy,
girl thick. That girl, and it's become a meme. But that one scene where she's freaking out about the silent princess, the
Oh,
flower,
yeah.
and she's
just-
bent over, and Link's
Yeah.
like looking right down at her. That's become a meme because her booty is rather full in that scene, and I ain't complaining. Girl, you thick. You know you thick.
but yeah, that I think Zelda is perfect for the second protagonist. Like, she
I would,
also is a bit of an adventurer in this. She likes to be independent and do things. I think she would be perfect. It's not like if she were in the dress the whole time and she were in the castle, and then people are like, I want to play as a girl, so make Zelda a playable character. Then
No,
it wouldn't
she-
really
she-
make sense.
She's got the motivation for it in this. She wanted to be adventurous. Remember, it was her father basically keeping her constrained to the castle. She wanted to be out there researching the Sheikah labyrinths and every bit of technology that they could find, and I love that. And so when the DLC comes around, I think like I said, they hint at the adventure being kind of Zelda taking a more active role if you get the true ending of the game with that ending cutscene. And I would love it if she was a playable option in the DLC. That'd be great.
I agree. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why. I
You're
want the
fine.
chat to name my horse. That's what I'm trying to set up.
Oh lordy. Well, we'll let chat figure that out. But yeah, what do you think, John? What do you think the DLC is going to bring story wise?
I mean, they've already gave us everything that they're going to put out.
Such
DLC Pack 1 is going to have the Cave of Trial,
Mm-hmm.
new hard mode, and an additional map feature.
And what do you think an additional map feature means?
I don't know. Maybe,
Some extra islands, maybe?
yeah. Maybe
Just some new places to explore.
Maybe a different form of travel.
Oh god, something I was really hoping would be in the game, and I really hope they add as an expansion, is Rock's Cape. Or,
Oh yes.
if not Rock's Cape, then Rock's Glider. Where it's
Yeah.
just, you drop less and you soar faster.
And you can catch wind and go upstream. Give me flight. I want flight in this game. Give
But
it to me. Let me see it.
It has to be a separate option. It can't be an upgrade. It has to be you have two different gliders.
Yeah. I'd be cool with that. And just the mere fact that we're getting DLC for a Zelda game is already incredible to me. That's already incredible, and it's everything I wanted. This game for me is already a 9 out of 10. It's already a masterpiece. It's already a timeless classic, and the only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because of the performance issues that I have to deal with on Wii U. I just can't give a perfect score to a game that chugs like that. Even though it doesn't happen all the time. It's only in very specific places. The fact that we're getting more of this fantastic masterpiece is exactly what I wanted to hear from Nintendo. And we're getting new story, we're getting a new dungeon, and I don't remember what DLC Pack 1 was.
That was DLC Pack 1.
So the Cave of Trials is DLC Pack 1?
Yep, Cave of Trials, hard mode, and the additional map feature is 1. DLC 2 is new original story, new dungeon, and additional. I posted a picture in the chat if you want to look at it.
Oh, yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I need. So we'll be getting the first DLC back in June. The next one will be in winter for this year. Probably going to be launching near the Super Mario Odyssey release date, which, by the way, that's coming out this year. I'm ready for that one, too.
I almost kind of hope that game gets delayed, just because I want it to be as good as this.
To be perfectly honest, I'm expecting a delay. I am. I don't want one to happen, but I am expecting a delay because I don't know how far along in development they are, but it's a new console, and there's precedent for Nintendo to delay games like that. I mean, shoot, Breath of the Wild was supposed to be out 2 years ago.
Yep.
I'm glad they delayed it, though.
Yep.
But did you choose Old Spice to name your horse, Nate?
I did.
Excellent. This is the greatest timeline.
This is canon.
Radiant Duke made that suggestion, and I liked it the most.
It's official. Zelda rides Old Spice. Gonna give her that Old Spice back. But this is all great stuff with Zelda. I don't want to spend too much more time on that since we already are we're pretty far into this podcast. But I'd love to be able to experience, Zelda on the Switch if Nintendo would, make more Switches.
They're in stock at my local GameStop. I hear that the stocks have gone up quite a bit.
Really? Because they're not in stock anywhere near me.
I know Amazon has them, or at least had them very recently. I know Target's had them.
Amazon had them very, very. They sold out. The official store, I guess I'll say, sold out very quickly. It's all third-party people now who are, of course, gouging the price up to like $400 or $500.
Oh, okay.
Same thing for Target. Target had them. They ran out in a day. I checked again. They're gone. And still haven't been able to even find a Switch to get my hands on. Your local GameStop, it must be like glorious if they've still got a stock of it, because these things still seem to be sold out everywhere, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But yeah, if you're trying to get a Switch, I would keep trying, because they do get them every once in a while. Don't give up. But yeah.
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe.
But all right, speaking of the Switch, we've got a bunch of brand new games coming out for that very soon. As a matter of fact, in this month, don't we? You guys say we move on to some of the game releases for this month?
Sure.
John, I'm gonna let you take over here since you made the list. Go for it, dude. What do we have to look forward to?
These are the prime time releases that I guess I would say that. I guess I wouldn't say that a lot of gamers want to see, because there are some really good indie titles that are coming out this month. One of the ones I didn't put on was a online only multiplayer game made by the same person that made the original Gears series, and it's drawn like a pencil sketch in a high schooler's notebook.
Oh, I've heard of this.
It's like a cross between Mad World and just like your doodle notebook. Think of it like a Gotham City Imposters, but just like I said, drawn on a sketchbook.
That's interesting.
It's just kind of nutty fun, and that's actually going free to play on the PSN store, I think on the 3rd, so in 2 days.
That's interesting.
Other than that, there's the same people that made I think what was that? The game Swan something wasn't it? It was like a really popular indie title. It had Swan in the name. Anyway, they're making a new game that's coming out. Actually, bring up the list here. I am so underprepared. It is incredible.
I hadn't heard about that first game you were talking about there.
It was on the PSN Plus games for this month.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I heard about it first. And I was like, "What's that?" And I did some digging. I was like, "Wait a minute, that's from the same guy who made the Gears game."
I gotta say, I don't like having to pay $60 for PSN every year, but I can't disparage the fact that they give you quality titles for free every single month. ranging from great indie games, like really well-reviewed, well-made indie games, to AAA titles. Like you can't disparage them for that. Nintendo, take notes. Letting us rent NES and SNES titles, not worth it.
Nope.
The game that I was talking about with the cartoon art style is called Drawn to Death.
Oh my god! Wait, hold on. Is it made by the same people who made Drawn to Life?
No, I don't
that would
think
be
so.
hilarious though.
Oh come on! How can you make a game called Drawn to Death and not tie it to Drawn to Life?
Mm-hmm. I think the game by the same people that made the Swan Calm Waters that launches on April 13th. I still don't know what the name of their previous title was, but those are the big indie titles. Other than a really notable indie title that's later down on the list, on April 4th we're getting Persona 5, which I'm sure that a bunch of RPG fans and JRPG fans have been clamoring for.
It's
7 years.
Be the only reason I'm putting down the Switch.
Correct. That's about the same reason that I have. It's just unfortunate that it launches on the same week as Vault of Glass.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. Then on the 11th, 1 week after, we have Yooka-Laylee, which is the big indie title. Which should we call it an indie title? Since it's made by this. Yeah, should we call it an indie title since it's made by the same people that made Banjo? I mean, it's a rare title.
It's an indie title. It's just a title that's made without a formal publisher.
Yeah, with a burger publisher, but we won't get into that. Terrible publisher. But yeah, Yooka-Laylee is launching on the 11th. It's been 2 years since the Kickstarter, and I am excited. I've already pre-ordered my copy. It is going to preload on the 9th, so I'm excited for that. Are you guys getting it? You guys gonna pick it up?
It's coming out on Switch, right?
Yeah,
the people who pre-ordered it on Wii U or there's a Switch version. There's not going to be a Wii U version anymore.
Mm-hmm.
RIP.
I can live with that, but I mean, I also have one, so I'm kind of biased.
So you're set. Yeah, I'm getting mine on PS4, so I'll be good to go. On the 25th, we have 2 big games. If you're a horror fan and you like your really spooky horror games, Outlast 2 is coming out. The critically acclaimed Poop Your Pants game, and they're launching their new sequel on the 25th.
That game's in a little bit of trouble, man. they got in trouble in Australia, like it's banned in Australia.
Yeah.
wait, I didn't hear about this. What happened?
It's being heavily censored in Australia because you get your dick cut off in it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So Conan. Okay, all right.
No, Conan lets your dick fly free, and I think that's hilarious that the developer did that, and I love them for it.
You can also make it fly off.
Maybe, yeah, you might be able to do that, but Outlast 2, no thank you.
If you are a Dynasty Warriors or Dragon Quest fan, they have their Dragon Quest Heroes game, which is basically like what Hyrule Warriors is to Nintendo. Dragon Quest Heroes is their massive world beat 'em up, just killing a bunch of waves of ads, just slaughtering things. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair bit of warning, not as good as Hyrule Warriors.
Well,
RIP.
The first one is anyway. I can't say for the second one. The first one.
The second one, they said that they're making countless improvements to the battle system. So
I hope so.
I'll look at the reviews and make a choice for myself.
I don't know if Nintendo has a thing about the mechanics in that game, and they couldn't replicate them, but not as good.
I don't know. Those games are all launching on a Tuesday. The Friday release for the month is coming on the 28th, which is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Nate, are you getting this?
I don't know. I only know 2 or 3 people that all own Switches, so it's kind of hard to justify it. That's more of a play with your friends than play with randos kind of game for me. So
that was my ultimate question there, because Mario Kart, it's great. I'm super glad Mario Kart 8 is coming to the Switch. It's going to be an updated version of the Mario Kart 8 we got on Wii U. It is going to be a 900p 60 FPS version rather than a 720p version, so it's going to look a little bit better. Actually, no, that actually might be 1080p. They might be able to pull that off with the Switch.
I think they are launching it at 1080.
Yes, beautiful. It's going to have all the DLC from the original Mario Kart 8 built in, plus a couple of new characters like King Boo, the Inklings, and a couple of new maps, a revamped item mode, or item system rather, and the return of battle mode. Finally, and not burger battle mode from like Mario Kart Wii. Real old school battle mode is finally coming back. I don't know why it took multiple iterations of Mario Kart for Nintendo to understand, oh, we should just include the battle mode that people enjoyed. Huh, what a novel idea. But that's all coming back with it. But that was my big thing. Like, I don't know enough people who have Switches to really warrant a purchase of that game. I mean, if you just enjoy Mario Kart in and of itself, like I do, I would buy this game because I just enjoy playing Mario Kart. I go online and play Mario Kart, but like a large portion of the fun with that game is just playing with your friends and family. And it's like, I don't know enough people with Switches to kind of make that worthwhile. I don't know. It's gonna be weird, but that's coming out on the 28th. Continue, John.
That's all like the really big releases for this month. Other than like Stardew Valley coming to PS4 and Xbox One and PC, like the collector's edition, and we also have Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition being dead by Gearbox once. So if you want to play Bulletstorm up-res on PS4 and Xbox One, great game.
It's great.
I don't think it gets enough credit. I really hope so.
You know what's funny? This is a bit of a trip through time for me. I remember one of the old episodes of the EotW podcast. Nate reviewing Bulletstorm.
Yeah.
And talking about it way back in the day. So it's a great game, so I'm super happy to see it coming back.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love that game.
Yeah.
But it just had some problems.
It was glitchy as glitchy could be, huh?
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
But those are all of the, I guess, big and indie releases for the month. I'm not saying that a game on here or isn't on here is the end all be all. If I left something off, I really apologize, but those are like the ones that stuck out to me. Other than that, those are the releases for the month. Should we talk about the little news snippets and teasers that we've gotten over the past like week or so? Do you want to go ahead and jump into those, Sean?
We can very quickly go over that.
Yeah. For the first mention, GameStop expects Nintendo Switch shortage to last throughout the year. That was a report that came 7 days ago, mind you. It was 7 days ago. Since then, Nintendo says that they have doubled production. So we will see how that pans out. As far as I know, I can't find anyone near me. Sean can't find anywhere near him that has them in stock. Nate's up there swimming in them, so maybe we should go up to the northern states and get us some Nintendo Switch.
I just want to apologize to everybody who just watched me burger my way through this trial. I'm so sorry.
It's cool, dude. And the big teaser for the week is that Sega put up on their website a countdown for 9 days, 20-something hours, and something minutes. That translates into April 11th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. GMT. And what was shown was a certain character's sexy leg with a gun attached to her boot. And Sega, there can only be one character that's with Sega.
Obviously Dante.
I was just going to say, clearly it's Amy Rose.
Sexy Dante legs.
It's Amy Rose for her new angsty Amy the Hedgehog. No.
Amy the Rose.
But the character that was shown was the Umber Witch herself, Bayonetta, which will give a lot of people across the pond some big joy, because I know that Bayo's a very popular character in Europe, and she has a really dedicated fan base here in the States. So I'm kind of excited to see what the game's going to be. Is it Bayo 3? Is it a spinoff game? Is it...
it could just be the PC release of Bayonetta 1 and 2.
It could be, yeah, you're right.
All we know is that there is a countdown. It's for 9 days. Like you said, it's going to end on April 11th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. And I'm excited. I want to see what this is going to be all about.
Eat.
Bayonetta 3, bring it. Let me see it.
Let me see it.
I don't know what else Platinum's working on.
I'm just glad that they get to work on it. I was saying earlier, like, it's kind of improbable to me that they were even able to make 2. That they're working on 3 says that, like, they're enjoying some level of success, despite, like, Star Fox and, what was the other one that they had to apologize for?
Scalebound.
Scalebound, yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
Like,
Ouch.
They can't make Scalebound, but they can make Bayonetta. That's very shocking to me.
That's because Bayonetta is an established franchise.
Yeah, and also, Bayonetta was probably being published by Sega, whereas Scalebound was Microsoft.
Plus, they did help Square with Nier, so they probably have some good funds from that. That was a recent title that dropped. Nier did. But we will see exactly what's going on. I really hope it's Bayo 3, but if it's just the 1 and 2 release on PC, sick. I'm not going to complain. I'm sure PC gamers have been wanting to play Bayo for a long time.
Yeah, and whatever it is, I'm excited to see more content with Bayonetta. And if it is just a port of the first 2 games, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I think Bayonetta 2 is currently exclusive to Wii U. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Bayonetta 2 port for PC, because that's an audience that definitely deserves to play that game. Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is fantastic. It's a fantastic game.
Did you guys? I'm sorry, I tuned out a little bit. Did you guys mention that Bayo 1 and 2 came bundled together for the Wii U?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't mention it, but yeah, we'll say now that yes, they come bundled.
Which is great. That's a great deal.
If you want to support their decision to keep working on Bayonetta, like, go buy that.
It's a great franchise.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff, man. And like I said, we'll see in about 9 days, whatever this is going to be. Realistically, I think it's just going to be Bayo 1 and 2 on PC. But that's perfectly fine, because if it sells well, then, well, there's the...
Hey, Sean.
Desire for Bayo 3.
Hey, Sean. What if it's Metal Gear Rising Revengeance 2?
Oh,
with
God, that's never
starring Bayonetta.
You mean the
starring Bayonetta?
Konami will never let happen.
I know.
They need to cancel Metal Gear Burger and just greenlight Metal Gear Rise Revengeance 2.
God, I wish
we need another
just buy out Konami.
Or just buy the licensing for Metal Gear. Just do that. That's all you gotta do. Just buy the licensing properties for Metal Gear and make new Metal Gear games, because Rising Revengeance 2 needs to happen. We need to get Senator Armstrong's return.
Please.
Well, they can call it his second term, Senator Armstrong's second term. Let's go. Oh, it's such a great game. If you guys haven't ever played it and you've got a PS3, I would absolutely recommend going back and picking that game up. It's so good. One day maybe we'll get like a PS4 port of it or something. That'll probably be at the same time if we ever get a Metal Gear Solid 4 port. It's a good game. It's a good game. But all right, I think that's pretty much everything we had to talk about this week, isn't it?
I believe so. We covered quite a bit.
We did.
We covered an hour and 40 minutes.
Did we really talk about what we played very much?
I mean, Destiny.
Destiny, I guess.
I've been hard on FF14 doing Ninja. I got it from 8 to 30 just yesterday.
Just yesterday?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did a little bit in the day before, but like just barely.
Like, what were you doing, dude?
I got sent home sick.
I mean, what were you doing to level?
Palace, because you can't queue anywhere.
Yeah. Thankfully, Palace is a pretty quick and easy way to. Were you just doing 1 to 10 runs?
No, I have been doing those too, but I mostly did a run. I did a run to 60, floor 60, and then I had to leave so that I could do my class quest, and I had to start over again from 50.
Damn.
So I'm at like 46 for my ether pool arm.
That's not bad at all, dude. Nope. Especially considering the maxed out version of that is still a pretty darn good weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
He ran into Palace for my hood.
For my hood. Yeah, gotta get your stuff leveled up.
If you guys want to level something, like, join me.
I need to finish Dragoon.
I need to get in there just to finish my Aether Pool arm.
So, I guess that's a little bit of news. Final Fantasy Heaven's Word finally finished the other day. Like
Yeet.
they released the final patch. Or
Oh, did they?
Sword, and the story
Nice.
is finished, and it sets up for Storm's Blood.
Sick.
Now I got another 200 hours to go through before I can get into Stormblood.
Yup, same.
No, actually, that's a
I
new
know.
thing they've announced for for people who don't, that you do not have to complete Heaven's Word in order to play Storm's Blood.
But do you have to complete the base game still?
Yes.
Probably,
Rip.
which is still 200 hours of. Oh
Rip.
my gosh,
Smells.
200 hours of garbage. You have to. Well, not garbage. It's good stuff, but still 200 hours of content you have to go through.
I'm a little worried because Heaven's Word is 50 to 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are going to be a lot of people who are going to use that that free like level 50 bump potion, and then they're just
for
gonna
sure.
get straight into Storm's
Stormblood.
Blood content, and they're not going to know how to play, and we're going to have to suffer through.
Oh,
lot
that
of
happens
people.
that happens anytime there's an expansion.
Yeah.
You just
so
you just have to hold it.
yeah, it's. I mean, on the one hand, like I'm usually pretty okay with new people, and I don't mind showing them the ropes. I don't know.
Hey,
That's why I'm making a DPS class, man.
Yeah, just stick with us. That's all you got to do. Just stick with us. We'll handle it for you, brother.
You guys don't play.
Maybe someday.
You might craft.
Yeah, then that's what I'll be doing. I'll be making that new eye level 300 stuff. That's going to be on the way. Mm-hmm.
Making that shmoney. Going to the markets with it.
Money. But all right, unless there's something else you guys want to talk about, I think we can pull this episode to a close.
I think we're good.
I'm good.
Well, right on. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been episode 36 of the End of the Week podcast, back in the swing of things. We got to discuss a lot of things here today. Zelda, Destiny 2, the future of gaming, and some disappointment, certain things that shall go unnamed. Before we get on out of here, we will let you guys know where you can find our stuff and what we've got coming up over the week. Nate, man, where you at? What you got coming up?
You can find me everywhere on the internet as HuntArtist. I am not streaming right now because I sadly don't have the time for it. And yeah, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, I still post stuff there. I am gonna be streaming again. I'm not done streaming. I can't stream right now.
Hit up Loopy. Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to eventually. I'll work on something because I know that Monster Hunter 5 for Switch has got to happen.
It needs to, man. There's too much buzz about it.
Yeah, and when Monster Hunter Double Cross gets announced, ooh, that's another game I've been playing, but I'll save that for next time. When Monster Hunter Double Cross gets announced for America, then I will invest in another capture unit. But until then, I can't.
That sucks so much.
Cats
That you
Kitty
got to
sucks.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cats Kitty sucks. They suck. Oh man. Well, John, what you got going on, man? What's going on?
Just next week's gonna be Destiny, Persona, and then the next week's gonna be Ukulele, Persona, Destiny. It's just gonna be Vault of Glass, Oryx, King's Vault.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Dildo Space Boots. I will post great memes.
And he
You will not be
never
disappointed.
disappoints.
I don't. But yeah, what you got going on, Sean?
Yeah, same old. I'll still be here, right here, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at TheBlackLink. If you guys are watching this, the live stream of this, well, you're already on my YouTube channel. Stay tuned. We've got more Destiny streams coming up. This week, we're going to be doing a raid focus on Vault of Glass. We'll probably be streaming that on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Doing stream carries and stuff like that. Looking at getting Blessius into one of those raids. He keeps hitting me up. He wants to join in on some of that stuff, and it'd be really cool to have a dual streamer raid going on there. Additionally, we've also got some Call of Duty content coming up because there's some news going on in the Call of Duty world. Some speculations and stuff about the upcoming COD game. We should be learning a bit more about it. Nazi jetpacks, it's coming. Get ready for the Nazi boost slides in World War II. You'll never escape, John. You're never going to escape it.
I hate jetpackers.
You just have to deal with it. You have to hold the World War II jetpacks because they existed.
No.
You got to be running around looking like Super Mario Sunshine with a water jetpack on your back.
Just give me a fully auto car 98 and I'll be fine. I'll snipe everything.
Big stuff. But the usual stuff. our streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We had a lot of support for that this week. A few of our streams had tens of thousands of people turn up for, no doubt because of some of the new Destiny hype. And I thank you guys for that support. And hope you guys are looking forward to the next big one. Nate, you know you can stream like Zelda and Final Fantasy, right?
I know I can. All right, let me put this out to you guys right now. Put it to a vote. Who's gonna watch Final Fantasy? Chirp, chirp, chirp. Okay,
I
not
raised
doing
my
that.
hand. I raised my hand.
I did too, because I actually do watch Final Fantasy streams.
Same here.
You know what?
I did.
You guys are not wrong at all. If you guys want to watch, if anybody on this planet wants to watch me running Palace boringly as a ninja, up
I'll
until
join
60,
you. I need to do it on my warrior. I'll
Then
join you for that.
do it today. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. As
right,
soon as I finish the podcast, I'm gonna call
Nate.
GameStop, see if they have a Switch. If they don't, I'll just run Palace with you.
Okay, cool.
And Nate,
Yes.
once Tuesday hits, are you going to be streaming Persona?
Ooh.
Do it. Do it.
Ooh.
I mean, you best be.
Ah, man, I've been waiting so long for this. I don't know. I kind of want to just, like, play it for myself. That sounds so
Burger.
selfish. Ah!
Burger.
I
It's not
might.
selfish. It's playing games.
You selfish pig. Why?
I might.
Okay. If you
You
do,
must.
let me know. I'll watch a little bit of it.
Okay, cool.
Not like any of the like the labyrinth and dungeon stuff, but I'll watch you do like social links and high school stuff, because that's funny. I mean, that's just kind of like slice of life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right on there, and I think we got ourselves a stream schedule. Good stuff. Well done, gentlemen. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching episode 36 of the End of the Week podcast, where every day is the end of the week. We hope you guys enjoy, and we hope you have a great week of gaming coming forward. But all right, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
See
Go
you
buy
guys.
some Old Spice. Do it.
Buy some Old Spice. Do it.
Okay, now that we're done, I just want to say thanks so much to Radiant Duke for all the links and everything in the chat. And
Yeah,
Duke's
he's
a hell of a
usually on
mod.
top of that stuff.
yeah,
Big
that
mod.
was super cool. Thank you.
Duke's a homie.
I'm just crouching in the rain right now.
I mean, you're tired after all that dancing.
Jeez, we went for an hour and 50 minutes.
It was
Sheesh.
almost 2 hours, man. Yeah.
I think is this our longest podcast ever?
Oh no, it can't be.
Maybe.
We used to do
Dude,
I
like
don't
a
know.
3-hour podcast way back.
Yeah, okay, back in the olden days, yeah, we did like 2 to 3 hour shows.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I used to do like 2-hour shows, and they killed me.
It's a lot of talking.
Yeah. Are we supposed to stop our recordings now?
Oh,
Let's
hold on, wait a second, let me sync up.
just gonna say one last goodbye to everybody still watching. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye. And I'm
You-
gonna stop